Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and today I wanted to do an unboxing and review of the Lava by Cystereo or Cystereo, I'm not sure, I think I'm just going to say Cystereo, wireless Bluetooth headset that does noise canceling. That seems to be pretty much standard now, so it comes down to who can do the noise canceling better. And this is more of a affordability minded unboxing or product. What I'm interested in is something that has really good quality for the price without paying a ridiculous amount for a name brand. So in this case, they reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to review these. So it's my honest opinion, but I was provided the product. Usually I don't just accept anything. I want something that I'm interested in, and I want to believe in it. I don't want it to be something that I think is going to be junk and say it's good. So I only even accepted these because from what I read, they look like something I was interested in, and I have been using them, and I think that this is actually something that is worth it. So I wanted to show this off here, and you can see some of the specs on the back. You get the ANC, Yamaha digital, 40mm drivers, excellent battery life. It lives up to its claims. And then that's something I haven't messed with. I usually like flat response, and then I'll EQ it in the app or on the phone, which these days I don't even bother with that. And I'm not sure if it says what the water resistance is, but it should be enough probably to withstand sweat or a little bit of water. That's really all there is there. Actually, let me switch here real quick and I can show you the listing. So you can see right now, well, it's a Cyber Monday thing. They're normally $80, but right now this is a really good price. And I also reviewed the On wireless over-the-ear headset a little earlier this year, which I liked. And right now, I think these are better, but right now you can get the same deal almost around the same price. Now, probably when you're looking at this, that deal might be away, but at least it gives you an idea of what their sale price is. You can see there's their battery life, which I'd say is right about on what it was. I couldn't run them dead. I couldn't even get them like halfway. I used them probably for 20-30 hours. And then see if there's, well, you can just look up the listing if you want, but it will be these ones. And you can see this is a pretty big case compared to the On ones, which are in a smaller case, but then you have to fold them. So here, the one thing I noticed, I don't know why this is so long. If you wanted to hang, it's kind of in the way. I guess if you wanted, you could just cut it off, but not a big deal. That's just my nitpicks. And here you go. Good clamshell, I think is what you'd call it. Yeah, I got this on it. So you can see the headphones here. They immediately pop out. I'm not sure if that is some type of plastic or metal, but it's just an attention to detail. It's that little gold trim. I really like it. Yeah, I didn't expect, but I thought, these could be like really cheap plastic. Like this is plastic, but like this ear cup, that finish is just really nice. It is that like scratchy thing that kind of like sends shivers down your spine. Like, ugh. But it looks nice, and just a lot of padding, and the protein simulation leather. But let me go ahead with the rest of this first. So what you get is, this is actually Type C, which is nice. And they give you a little 3.5mm if you want to go wired, which is always nice if your battery dies, but that's not even a concern with these because of the battery life. And the way this works is the headphones themselves are Type C, but you're still using Type A on this end. So I like product switching over to this, but this actually came in handy because with the new iPad I bought, it's Type C, but my Mac Mini is still Type A. I don't have any Type C's on it. So my Type C to Type C didn't work. So this actually came in handy because it carried data. So I was able to back up to it and move my iTunes songs over to it. So it does support data transfers, and it worked nicely, and you can obviously use it to charge this. It doesn't come with a power block, but you can either plug into a computer or game console, or most people probably already have an adapter for their tablet or smartphone. So one thing usually these smaller companies, maybe bigger companies too, give you is one of these feedback things where they want you to review it. They want you to follow them if you're happy. But when they send you stuff like this, from my experience, I don't know this company from experience, but anytime they give you this, usually that means if you have any problems, because a lot of times people say when you have something more affordable, oh, one of the earbuds didn't work, or something broke, or the battery won't charge. Well, if you buy on Amazon, you got your 30-day free returns anyway, so that's excellent. But almost always when a company gives you this, if you contact them with the problem and you can prove you purchased it, like on Amazon or whatever, they almost always will either fix it or send you a free pair, or really a replacement pair free of charge. So that's always a good sign when they give you one of these. So that's that. And then the instruction manual, which I'll just go through real quick in case someone loses theirs or they just want to see some things. It tells you how to use it, what everything means here. Make sure I'm in frame here. This is this one has physical controls with the physical buttons, and they're multi-purpose, which I like. I like the setup, volume, and then you have to hold for skip song. That's always nice. Call features, which I don't use. The built-in mic, I don't use calling. Almost never make a phone call, let alone with the Bluetooth device connected. How your ANC works. And there's some specs, which again you can see even more in depth on the YouTube listing. And then here's these. You get this, moves around. I guess if you want it, you could probably get some 3M double-sided tape and hold that in place. And I like that. I mean, this case is a bit bigger, but I like the way they store compared to these on ones, which is a smaller case, which is nice for being smaller, but you have to cram them in here, and you can see it kind of indents them a little bit, but kind of comparing them there. So what I'd like to do now is just kind of talk about them before I give more of a review, kind of show them off here. I do in depth. I'll put timestamps on the video. You can just skip to what you want if you don't want to see the whole thing. I like round ear cups. I personally have smaller ears with attached earlobes, so my ear always fits in. They're round. If they're elongated, it usually pinches somewhere and then it hurts more, so these have been very comfortable. One thing about these is they lay flat, so you have more rotation on them. These ear cups are soft. Sometimes these degrade after like hours and hours and hours and hours of use. I'm not sure if that'll happen on these, or if they're replaceable. That I don't know. I don't want to tug at them and rip something to find out. But these newer ones are all called like a soft protein leather, so I'm not sure if that's more. It's probably synthetic, but I'm not sure if that's more durable than the older kind that flakes away. But and you can see here's the power and your volume, headphone. I believe that's the status on, which is it's always on, by the way. Some of them just blink real quick, but this one will always be on. So that is, if you're in a dark room, you're always going to have a bright light. So you might have to put some electrical tape or something over that one. That's the microphone, and this is the button for ANC, a notification, and that's your noise cancellation button itself. And these do and they actually do collapse in as well. So you could fold them, but with the ability to lay them flat like that, I really haven't found myself wanting to fold them. And the main improvement on this is this headband is very comfortable. It's wrapped the whole way around with that same simulation leather. It's nice and wide and plush. And that was my main complaint with these, is this headband is a little bit more narrow. And it's like always hard to pick up black on camera, but it's basically like a hollow rubber with you just feel the plastic underneath, to where this is much more flexible. So these are much more comfortable. And these also have more of that oval ear cup. And they're a little tighter, they pinch a little tighter, more tension. These are way more giving. So I do find these significantly more comfortable. These basically are an improvement over these in just about every way. These have a touch screen or touch controls, which is okay, but I kind of do prefer the physical controls. That's one of the differences, more down to preference, but I really think that's probably enough to give you the gist of the overview of them, what they look like. So obviously for the review, I'm not an audiophile, and I pronounce it like that just in the event that YouTube's automated captions hear that word a different way. I don't want that. Have the FBI showing up at my door. Although these days I think the FBI might be into that. But that's separate. So to me, I just go by what sounds good. I'm listening to, not incredible quality. Again, it's, Bluetooth on iPad or whatever. And a lot of times it's just streaming these days. I think streaming's pretty good. And then some of the music, who knows, especially this modern stuff that's just kind of digital, who knows how good the sound quality is. As long as it's not like low bit rate like your BearShare or your LimeWire, to me, I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm not gonna nitpick, as long as it's like nice flat response, not overly muddy, not too tinny, not bass. And these are perfect for that. Also, these do Bluetooth 5.0, and at least earlier in the year when I was shopping for wireless headphones, and these ones are Bluetooth 4.0, because they don't market most. You'll notice that most things, if they're 5.0, they'll say it in the description. If they're still 4.0, they don't show what version they are. So these are 5.0. I'm not sure how many benefits they give, because 4.0 is quite a leap. But these are 5.0, and you can connect to two devices at once. So let me just go ahead and turn these on. So hold this for a few seconds. So we connected that quickly. Normally I would also connect to my iPhone, but I'm recording with it, so I don't want it to change to the microphone or something. I think it actually just connected to my Apple TV. So that's one thing that's nice, is you can connect to two devices at the same time. So it's a little more convenient than having to turn your Bluetooth off to connect to something else, because now you can connect to your two most recently used devices. And then to enter into pairing, when these are shut off, I think you hold this for like 3 seconds. So you can boot into pairing, which is nice. I was never able to figure out how to go into pairing on this unless you are connected to a device and then disconnect, and then it would. So these, I don't know if these can do that, or at least they tell you in the instructions. So that's another advantage to the Lavas. And these are called Lava on the Bluetooth identifier. So that makes it so much easier. It's not some weird number sequence or whatever. It's a nice name, Lava. It's easy to know, and it sounds good for a change for a product. So that is kind of something to point out too, I suppose. And again, okay, actually I think this light is the noise cancellation light. I might have flipped that. Okay, so that is the status light, so that just blinks. That's how most devices are. I don't mind that so much. But when you have your ANC on, right now I'm in ambient mode, so I guess that would flash. Now ANC is on, so it holds solid. So if you wanted to cover an LED, I'd maybe suggest this one, because I don't know if you can hear it, but it'll tell you if it's on.
ANC mode off. Ambient mode.
See, in a way, you really don't need that LED light anyway. I'm not an expert on ANC. Never had it until I got those that last pair of Bluetooth headphones. It was okay. It was great in the summer for air conditioner drone or something that'll mute that. It makes everything a bit higher pitched, a little more tinny. And with these, it definitely does that, but it didn't seem as bad. And I can't compare, it's just too hard because you got to take it off and put the other pair on. And then just that time, it's not a quick enough transition for me to really be able to distinguish it. But to me, I think the ANC is a little better on here. It's obviously these lower price ranges, like maybe the $300-400, you can get like top of the line ANC. But to me, I mean, it drowns out the fan, and I run a dehumidifier in the winter, which is about as loud as an air conditioner. It does a pretty good job with that. ANC is the type of thing that I don't have to have it. Usually, if I don't have it on and I turn it on, I don't think it sounds as good as with not you running it. But if I leave it on and I forget about it, and then I just turn it off and on, and it comes on, and there's no transition, you just go straight into ANC, it doesn't bother me. So it's definitely usable. It does use a little more battery life, but it's still excellent. So let me go. I should be able to just control this right off. Yep. So I'll just give a quick tutorial. Simple. Play pause on your power button, one press. Volume, click, click, click. So a wee little bit of lag. I don't know if there's any. I haven't noticed any on, let's say you're watching a video. I haven't noticed any, but when you press this button, there's just a wee little bit there. So if you want to do a bunch at once, it kind of takes a while to. It seems to only register one at a time, so not a big deal though. I mean, you could just do it like that. And then holding, I like it's a good 2 seconds or so. Because if it's too short, so that's what, it's one thing if you just bump the volume, but if you would skip your track, now you got to listen to the song or find where you were at. Then I already mentioned the ANC. I believe if you hold both power buttons, you get the voice assistant. Yes. I don't use that though, so that doesn't matter, but that's in there as well. And I believe if you hold the ANC button, you can go into the treble, or it was normal, high bass, or that one. But that you get into that by holding this for 3 seconds. I like it at normal. I like it at flat response. Now, as far as fitment goes, again, these are so much more comfortable. It's just perfect amount of padding. It looks good. There's not just a little pad and then you kind of feel where it ends. It's the whole way. Love the shape of the ear cups. They're pretty much round. They could always be a little bigger. The bigger the better for me over the ear headphones. But again, these are portable. They're Bluetooth, so they don't need to be huge, and they still fit perfectly. I don't think I've had any discomfort. And the thing, these might even be a little bit deeper, because I think sometimes my ear might press up against, but I couldn't remember. But these weren't as comfortable. They weren't bad, but these do fit slightly better, and they're much more comfortable. And also, one thing that I'm not used to is having this, because this is very flimsy. Not that it's made poorly. I think it's just that's what they wanted, was that so it would just completely contour to your head. But that makes it to where they almost sometimes want to fall off. If you're laying in bed and you have your head up against the backboard or a pillow, it'll kind of slide them off because they can rotate and they're not as tight, which I think adds to the comfort. But I have noticed that sometimes it kind of makes them want to slide off. So usually I wear them a little further back. On these, I have to wear them a little more angled instead of, say, like my head's like this. You kind of want, they look better like that. I have to lean them forward some. It just seems to balance on my head better. But almost no headphone unless they're like super big or have like a really lot of tension. Most of them do need to be like that, so it's really not their fault. I don't think most people have a problem with that. So I really think I've pretty much covered enough, told you all the features of it, what all the buttons do, a demo of just hooking it up, connected to devices, run down some of the specs, how it feels, and price point. I think that's really what it comes down to. I really like the look of them. For $80, or if they're ever lower like they are now, if a sales price, it's just a really good deal. And let me just say, to be fair, I think this technology these days is so much better that so many wireless headphones are good. But these are one of the best looking ones I've seen. And anything under $100 I think's very affordable when you consider everything you're getting. These could probably sell for 130, 150 US dollars. And I think that people would still buy them. I think that'd be a fair price for all they can do. The excellent battery life. They charged up, and I don't even think I ran them halfway down, but they were charged within an hour and a half. And I think they said that's how much they'll charge from dead in about 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours. Again, I'm sure that 60-hour battery life, 40 with ANC on, is true. I used them over 20 hours, didn't even get them halfway. I got them down to 60% battery life. So everything to me is just well worth the price. They're priced well. They look good. Check off almost all the boxes for me. And I think they really would for other people. So these ones you can get at Walmart. And so if you don't have a Walmart, or these were good, but for almost the same price, you spend a little more. I think you get a little bit more of an advantage, and you pay a little bit more. But to me, this is a better deal. But again, it just goes to show you that pretty much anyone that puts some quality into their products, you can get something at a good price point that you'll be very happy with. I'm very happy with these, and I can see them lasting for a long time. So I would recommend them. Again, they're Cystereo Lava wireless noise canceling headphones. And you really can't go wrong with Amazon. I mean, if you have Prime, 2-day shipping. Again, a lot of times they have deals, 30-day returns. The seller seems pretty good as far as if you have any defective ones or problems, they should be able to get you a new set. So I think it's just definitely something worth considering. I believe they're a new company. So I'm impressed already, and hopefully they'll come out with some more products because I think they have a good formula going here. So hopefully this helped you out, gave you something. I know I'm not the best on audio quality, but they sounded good to me, and I just wanted to tell you the features and my experience with them and Fitment and everything. So thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one. Have a good one.